Hello guys, let's figure out how iPhone 6 baseband circuit works today. When the phone is emitting signals like audio, image, and video, the baseband circuit works to convert these digital signals into INQ signals. When the phone is receiving signals, the baseband circuit works to convert these INQ signals into digital signals that can be processed by CPU. Malfunction of the baseband circuit will result in issues like searching issue or outgoing call failure of the phone. First, let's take a look at the main components on the baseband circuit. UBBRF baseband CPU. It is responsible for digital to analog conversion, channel encoding, and encryption of the signal sent. The signal received goes with the reverse process. Also, it is responsible for overall management of the baseband circuit. UPMI-CRF baseband PMU. It provides all rails of power supply for the baseband circuit. UEEPRF baseband apron IC. It stores the calibration parameter of the RF circuit and other data like IMEI number of the phone. U0201 CPU. It is responsible for function control of the baseband CPU. Its communication with the baseband CPU also completes data receiving and sending work of the phone. Now let's figure out how iPhone 6 baseband circuit really works. To ensure normal operation of the baseband circuit, power supply provided by baseband PMU is primarily needed. First, CPU will send radio on L to baseband PMU. Meantime, PMU will send rest RL to baseband PMU. With the main power supply and control signals received, baseband PMU will then get Y3301RF into work. Then, baseband PMU will form rails of transformer circuit with L3201RF, L3203RF, L3204RF, and L3202RF respectively, so as to output all rails of power supply needed for the baseband circuit to baseband CPU. Meantime, baseband PMU will send sleep clock 32K to baseband CPU. With the sleep clock received, baseband CPU will send XO out D0EM to baseband PMU. Then, baseband PMU will send 19.2M MDN clock to baseband CPU. Meantime, CPU will send BB2AP reset DETL to baseband CPU. These elements mentioned above, power supply, clock signal, and reset signal, make up the working condition of the baseband CPU. Then, on the one hand, the baseband CPU controls the baseband PMU with the help of SPMI bus. On the other hand, the baseband CPU loads the baseband firmware and baseband apron IC into active the baseband circuit. With these steps completed, baseband CPU will then send the device-ready signal to CPU. With the signal received, if nothing goes wrong, CPU will send a host-ready signal to baseband CPU. And that's when the baseband circuit gets to work. Also, when the baseband circuit is working, baseband CPU will send a power supply hold signal to baseband PMU, so as to have the baseband PMU provide power supply to the circuit continuously. Please be noted that without the power supply hold signal, most of the power supply provided by baseband PMU will only appear for a split second. And that's the whole process of the baseband circuit. Now let's move to diagnose and maintenance of the baseband circuit. If the phone features signal issues like outgoing call failure or searching issue, first thing we do is to confirm whether the fault is related to baseband circuit. Once we have confirmed that the fault is not caused by software problem or network problem, we need to check info under the About category, so as to confirm whether the phone features blank modem firmware, version and IMEI number. If nothing goes wrong, spread out the dialer board and enter #06#. Check if there is IMEI number displayed on the screen. Blank modem firmware, version or IMEI number of the phone can be an exact sign that the fault is related to baseband circuit. If the phone cannot get access to the system, then restore it from DFU mode. The error code can help you make a clear judgment. Please be noted that if there is IMEI number under the About category, yet no IMEI number when entering #06# on the dialer board, then the fault is most likely caused by pseudo-soldering or pin U1 and pin V1 of baseband CPU. Once we have confirmed that the fault is related to baseband circuit, first thing we do is to run cosmetic inspection of the logic board and check whether baseband circuit relevant area is normal. If nothing goes wrong, follow the steps listed below. 1. Measure whether there is 1.8 volts voltage on two ends of R1312. If there is 1.8 volts on one end and no 1.8 volts on the other end, then we can confirm that R1312 is damaged. We can fix the problem by making a short connect between the two ends. If there is no 1.8 volts voltage on either end of R1312, the PMU might have been malfunctioned or pseudo-soldered. 2. Measure whether there is 1.8 volts voltage on R3301. If not, then run voltage and diode measurement of capacitors connected with inductors listed below: L3201RF, L3203RF, L3204RF, and L3202RF. If nothing goes wrong, run diode measurement of capacitors around the baseband PMU. 3. Rebore or replace the baseband PMU. 4. Replace Y3301RF. 5. Rebore the baseband CPU. 6. Check baseband apron IC, UEEP-RF relevant circuit. 7. If the problem still remains unresolved, run diode measurement of pins on baseband CPU. If the measured value of one specific pin is abnormal, check relevant circuit of the pin. 8. If none of these solutions has worked, then baseband CPU is damaged. Since baseband CPU cannot be replaced, we can just stop here. Common fault components of the baseband circuit. Malfunction of baseband CPU UBB-RF will result in issues like searching issue, outgoing call failure issue, or blank modem firmware version, or IMEI number of the phone. Malfunction of baseband PMU UPMI-CRF will result in issues like searching issue, outgoing call failure issue, or blank modem firmware version and IMEI number of the phone. Malfunction of baseband apron IC UEEP-RF will result in issues like outgoing call failure issue or blank IMEI number of the phone. Malfunction of Y3301RF will result in issues like searching issue, outgoing call failure issue, or blank modem firmware version or IMEI number of the phone. And this is our detailed explanation of how iPhone 6 baseband circuit works. Feel free to visit our official website www.rivatechnology.com. See you next course.